Hey guys, we're getting ready to head north to the Widowmaker. That's Delamar for those of you that don't know. It's going to be lots of underground video. Great time exploring there. Join us for the adventure. Don't miss it. Coming up. This is the Delamar Cemetery. The mine was named the Widowmaker for all the deaths. Because of the scarcity of water out here, they drilled dry, which put a lot of dust in the air, and because it was high quartz, there was a lot of silicosis that developed in the miners' lungs. Many of the miners died in just a couple years after arriving at the town. It's a tragic story. This is absolutely one of my favorite places. A beautiful old building overlooking the Delamar Valley, just as the sun's starting to get down. Absolutely beautiful. Delamar is a ghost town in addition to everything else. There's old buildings just dotting the side of the hills, and down into the valley there's walls of the old merchant buildings. It's really enjoyable if you like to wander around old ghost towns. And here's some of the foundations from the original stamp mill. They're still standing after 100 years. I love walking around this stuff. The craftsmanship is just amazing. And off in the distance you can see the tailings piles. Okay guys, what's for breakfast? Well, cobbler, of course. What else would you have for breakfast? Gotta love it, huh? Hi guys, welcome to Outdoor Adventure TV. We're here at Delamar, one of the most amazing mines in the Southwest. Absolutely love this place. This is Matt. This is?
I'm Rob. They just found me on the road someplace here. They said something about mine.
You're there?
Hey, sounds awesome. Let's check it out.
So anyway, join us. We're heading underground. Keep us on. See you there? We had a little bit of an audio problem here, but what I'm doing is just showing one of the major ore chutes. Now this ore chute has a steel gate and a long handle that the miners would have pulled ore cars up and filled them up and then trammed them on through the rest of the mine. You see mixed metal and wooden ore chutes. I really like the metal ones because it tends to tell you that they had a high production in those areas. Some of the smaller production areas would have wood, but this mine's got a real mix of different types of equipment here, so really interesting to see. This is the first of the major shafts, the two major shafts on the number 10 Haulage Tunnel. And from here it goes down right around 300 feet. We get down to the bottom of that later on in the video, but it's unfortunately the ladders are kind of hit and miss all the way down, so we can't take a climb down. So it would be all ropes, and that would be long. And here come the crew, kind of walking on some of the rails and stuff. Here we go, more adventure. Back here is an amazing sight. Gonna go back here, probably a little bit of crawling, and then here we have the giant snow.
Oh, wow.
You see that rope right there?
Yeah.
That's the one. If we come in from the top, we rappel down about 80 feet get into a chamber back there that's very rarely accessed. And then we left that rope in place because the first time we came, we couldn't scramble down that.
Yeah.
We had to go all the way back up and SRT back up.
Oh.
So by leaving this rope in place, you can start all the way at the top, come down through here, zigzag ladder of death, and out the front, out the haulage tunnel.
Oh my goodness.
Here comes Matthew down the zigzag ladder of death. The ladder is super narrow, not what you would call very steady. Yeah, the squeaking you hear is actually the ladder. Now the ladder goes to the side and underneath, so you end up almost falling off the ladder. Tell you what, the fun part is trying to get back up that beast. And a lot of us just kind of rappel off the end. Okay, so here comes Robert. He's going to be coming down. See his lights here real quick. I believe this is his first time down the zigzag ladder, so all the excitement of a first time down it.
Hey, King Kong ain't got nothing on me now.
And he's right at the point where it's a squeeze, so it's really tight in there. Kind of got to go slow to get yourself through that because it pinches off pretty tight. And of course it opens up.
What do we got going on here? I've seen worse. So they probably put ore carts on this at one point.
They certainly brought buckets and stuff like that up it.
Ooh, getting a little wobbly. No. Ann, can you take a couple photos? Ann, I'm sorry, Joanne.
I do not have a hand to take a photo with. We'll get you back up there on the way up.
Okay, cool.
But I've got you on video right now.
I thought you found somebody down here. Was talking to him.
No, just me talking to myself. Okay, your right foot is just about on the very last rung. That is the last.
I mean, I should be able to swing, right? Or just go straight down.
Either way, if you go to your left, you'll just get down on the scree, and if you come straight down, you'll land on the landing pad.
I see it.
This last time I ended up down the slope because I just didn't quite have the strength at this time to land it.
Cutting on a piece of metal there. Or it might be.
There you go. And a little free rappel, and down he goes. This is a zigzag ladder of death from the backside. Gives a little more perspective what we're dealing with. From the front side, it looks a little bit scary. From this side, it shows you what it's really like. It simply hangs down right out of the roof. Big open chamber. And look at how that thing goes off camber. And when we go back up it, we have to do the exact same thing. So Robert and Matthew are standing up on top of the big cribbing. Don't know if you guys are going to even be able to see this. This gets so huge. It just goes up and up and up. And all this used to be square set. And it's collapsed. And what you're seeing right here is all the remnants of the collapse and all the boulders and rocks and stuff that backfilled. It is massive. Here's some of the cribbing that was set up. You probably saw Matthew and Robert standing on top of that. And then there's just the top of some square set. It's only one set high right here, but it just kind of shows you what square set looks like a little bit from above. It's amazing stuff how they designed that, because it carried stresses from the walls through that structure and into the other walls, or it did it from up above and the stresses were transmitted down into the flooring. So just an amazing bit of engineering. Yep, that's where we're heading, straight down there. It's a long crawl down to 11 and 12, so let's go.
I'm filming. I'm filming, of course.
That's cool. Down we go. This one's tight. Now it's a little traverse over to another ladder. Oh. Okay, we're heading down this way. Yeah, it's tight. Down that way some more, little bit of square set, kind of holding everything up. Down through this, a couple more layers down. Okay, so where we are, if you remember when we were up above and there was all that square set that had collapsed. Right now we are under all of that rubble. Huh. Wow. There's a little squeeze that pushes down through. Now this obviously used to be a level. There's track and stuff like that. And we're going to get into an intermediate level that not a lot of people get to. It's a little bit more rare, just because it's hidden, relatively hard to get to.
It's enough, of course.
It is that. Now we are in.
You going to need gloves?
The cool part is as we go through here, we're getting into some beautiful squares.
Green stuff.
Who's this?
Is that like manganese or something?
You know, I don't know.
Where is it?
Let me move over a little bit so you can...
It's a bad example, but you often see this yellow color of rock in nature. This is an awful example. I guess just that.
But that's what's above him. Oh my gosh. Nothing but debris. Fun times, right?
Yeah.
Fun times.
I'm enjoying this.
This is just an amazing set of square set. It just zigzags on and on and on. Perfect geometric pattern. Just amazing. One of my favorite places in this mine. Gotta love this kind of stuff. Okay, let's go explore some more. Okay, here comes Matthew. This one's actually tighter than it looks. We've got a lot of scree here. It's filled in. It's just a little bit of a tight pull. Nicely done.
Right.
Amazing, huh? Now, one thing that we see a lot, point to that one right there, that 31. You'll see a lot of writing, and what they've done is numbered all the square sets. And in one direction, it'll be numeric, and in the other direction, it's alphabetic. So we'll have letters going this way, numbers going that way. And that's how they kept track of all this stuff. Let me turn this off. They kept track of where they were by level and basically row and column. Almost like a giant Excel spreadsheet. Oh, yeah, sorry to nerd out. So how would you like this job? Somebody sat down here, right in there, and ran that wheel loading skips. They would dump the rock into a chute, an ore hopper. The skip would come up. It would stop at this level. The guy would spin that open, dump a bunch of ore in. Could you imagine how loud that was? Because everything's steel, and all those rocks just pounding into steel, and then up it would go, and he would just sit right back in that little room right there. It's all caved in now, but back in the day it would have been a little workstation. He would have been back in there. And then back on the other side, there's the little pegboard where he would keep track of all his different loads as they came out. Because they'd take waste out of here and they would take ore out of here. What a job. Ah, okay.
Cut paste.
Okay, it won't light up. So anyway, here's an area where they go. Lots of the old guys would write their names and stuff with their carbide lamps. And we'd put soot. And if we just go straight back up here, that's way back up where we started. So there's probably close to 100 feet straight up that way before you get to the main haulage shaft. Cool, huh? It's now time to head down towards level 12. It's quite a scramble. I mean, there's a lot of narrow passageways, and you just kind of thread your way down. So off we go. Stick around and it gets even more exciting. Yeah, these old pipes were riveted together. They rolled the metal, then riveted it long before they ever did welding and stuff like that. Shows how old a lot of this stuff is. Then the next thing we're going to do is head straight down. Yep, right down through there. Take a couple steps down, land on that little platform, and then another 4 or 5 feet down. And here comes Matthew, right through this little tight squeeze, and then we're going to head straight down into the chamber below us. Once again, it's a tight squeeze on down through there. We have feet. We have feet. Now it's a tight squeeze at the top and the ladder leans back, so yeah, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do.
I'll say that's a tight squeeze.
Are we having fun yet, Matt?
Yes.
Yes, we are. And guess what? That's down. Now, we've been all crawling through all this stuff. You wouldn't think there would be much down here. Look at that. Goes off into the distance. So Matthew's getting ready to head down the next segment. Now, this ladder is a little bit off position, because once you start down through, you kind of have to twist your body way off to the side to be able to squeak through. Of course, it doesn't help that we have backpacks and stuff on. And then it drops down about 10 feet into a little intermediate level. And then you have to figure out how to get from there another about 8 or 10 feet down to the bottom. So if you look up, we are right in an ore chute. So we rigged a hand line to make everything a little bit easier to get down here. Came down this ladder across this stall and then down this area right here with all these rocks. This is the ore chute, so we become one with the rocks. We go down there and we pop out at the bottom level. I believe that's level 12 that we're going to come out at. So level 12 is pretty cool. Not a whole lot of people get down here because, well, you've seen it. It's not the easiest way to get to here. And the other way is harder because you got to rappel down a darn long way. So, yeah, we're about there. Keep hanging in. We're going to find it. Perfect. See you guys. Go. And out we are. All this work to get to this level. This is one of the most difficult levels that I've ever been to because either you come the way we came or long rope and a lot of SRT. Okay, so here we are at the one end of the drift. They had shored it up, but that shoring has given way. It's really moist down here, so you can't really expect that wood. You can see where it's rotted. All of this stuff is just a mess. It's more the memory of wood than the real thing. And so everything collapsed. On one of our early trips here, we tried to push through that, and it just got worse and worse, more dangerous, and we finally gave up. Just not worth trying to pursue that one. But we're going to go the other way, and that one's pretty interesting too because we're going to run into some square set and some other cool stuff. Let's keep going. So again, we're wandering down the drift. Lots to see down here. You can see where they've thrown all the waste off to the side to try to not have to drag it all the way up. Then look at this square set. I think that's one of the favorite features of this mine for me is just all the beautiful square set that we find. Yeah, the overhead timbers are really starting to give way. Must be just tremendous, tremendous weight bearing down. I'm concerned that one day we'll come down here and we just simply won't be able to get through this any longer because it will have collapsed. As we look down through here, it's all been filled with wood to try to keep everything from collapsing, but the weight just keeps bearing down. Yeah, these will only last so many years and then they'll be gone to history. I'm glad we get a chance to get the video of it now because one day it'll be too late. So down this drift we come to the shaft. This is the same one that we saw earlier on, the one that goes all the way to the main haulage level. A couple 100 feet up at this point in time to the top. And you'll see as it goes down, it continues past this. Now, there's an ore hopper right at the back, and there would have been someone down there loading skip cars. But we don't really know if there was another level below this, because if we rappel down this particular spot right here, there's an ore car that's farther down there. So as we walk along here, we're back to track, and here's a few little items that are still down here. Of course, one of the old shovels and just some other stuff. So yeah, there's little artifacts still floating around this mine. It's really cool to see. So we're going down the drift. What do we find here? Oh, look at that. It's a lumber car. And I decided just to take it for a little ride down the drift. It's been there for the whole time, for 100 years it's sat there. And if you notice, there's some grooves right in the wheels, and that's from the wear. Pretty cool stuff. Just love finding things like this. So Matthew gets his turn on the car, takes a little ride down the drift. Unfortunately, it's blocked a little ways down, but it's still a lot of fun to ride on. I think I see light. I see light. I see shoes. I see Matthew's shoes.
Go ahead. Out of the way. Hi.
How was that, Matt?
It was nice. Saw a lot of cool things. This mine is very extensive.
And we've only been to a couple levels on this trip. It is a monster. Anyway, guys, thanks. Oops. Turn the lights off. Hey, guys, it's been a long day. We've been up and down this mine. We've down a couple levels. Down to the, started off at the 10 haulage level. We went all the way down to the 12 level. We've just gone up to an intermediate to the 11 level. You got to see some areas that very few people actually get to see. A lot of people come to Delamar, but you really got to work to get to some of the places we've just been. So hope you enjoyed it. Had a really great time with Matthew and Robert. They're great guys. If you get a chance to hang out with them, don't miss that opportunity. And thanks a lot for being with us. Really enjoyed it. We'll probably say goodbye when we get up to the top because I'll be heading back home tomorrow and they're going to hang out here for a couple more days. Cool. Glad we had a good time. Okay, guys. Thanks a lot for joining us. We had a great time. Took forever to get down here, but we found it. Amazing place, right?
It's awesome.
Do you guys want to see more of this? You know what to do. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and we'd also like to hear your comments. If you want to hear more of this or see more of this, let us know. The comments really help us out. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Peace.
So have you ever wondered where Area 51 is? Well, that road out in the distance is the road to Rachel, Nevada. And Rachel, Nevada is just north of the test site. So just beyond those mountains in the distance, probably 20, 30 miles out in the desert, Area 51. So now you know.